Oh my God, I can't get my microphone on. Hi, hello, good morning. How is everybody doing? Hello, happy Monday, happy 2026. This is our first time here back together in the new year. Oh, let's go. Okay, we got a microphone on. I am here this morning. Welcome to Noted, formerly known as the Women's Room. I was going to say Women for the Culture. Y'all, good morning. The world is ghetto, okay? Let's start with the elephant in the room. The US, like, bruh, what is she doing? What does she have going on? She's got too much. Um I really wanted a place where we could come, we could be on the internet, we could talk about the things happening on the internet, but it'd be deep, but not too deep. It'd be a good time, it'd be a fun time, but like not too much. You know what I'm saying? So I'm working on my camera angle, y'all. Just pray for me, okay? Pray for me as the Lord uses me. But no, we needed something. And while the women's room did equal or equivalent to a place where we could come and be ourselves, it kind of got weird. Like, when we going to invite the men folks in, because we're going to have to talk to the menses at some point. It was just going to like it just wasn't grasping everything that I needed it to grasp. And I feel like Noted is going to be a place where I can share my deeper thoughts, share my elaborations on things. Sometimes in the short form content, it always gets like lost a little bit. And people are like, well, you didn't say this. And well, what about this? And so this will be a place where we can come and we can talk about all of the goings ons of the world and be informed, right? Like I by trade, I'm not a journalist, but I do believe in accurate information. I do believe in factual information. So hopefully this will be a place where you can come, get a little hee hee, get a little ha ha, but be able to go home with something in your back pocket. If you were here from Facebook, from YouTube, and you wanted to be here on Instagram, but that couldn't happen for you, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. I don't know what was going on. I was trying to figure it out before we got on here. Let's see. I was trying to figure it out before we got on here. And the whole stream key from the internet, it was weird. And so we ain't got it. But what I will do is I will get my iPad set up here in just a second and we will stream to Instagram just so that you guys can still be part of the conversation. As per the flyer, y'all know we have the one, the only PR expert, Tanya McKenzie. She is coming today. And we are going to talk about the state of the world from a PR point of view, baby. Does the government have a PR crisis? Does the White House have a PR crisis? We know Donald Trump got a PR crisis, right? So we are going to cover the Grammys becoming a political platform. We are going to cover the Alex Peretti shooting, and then we are going to cover the cultural conflict and the PR fallout. If you want my honest opinion, it's time to I can't think of her real name, but the White House fixer that Olivia Pope was fashioned after she worked for Clinton, she worked for the Bush administration. But it's time to get her back in the house, okay? The gladiators aren't gladiating no more. I don't know what's going on. I don't know why it stopped going on. It just even down to simple things as the mismatched makeup color on Trump's hand is like, girl, what are we doing and what time are we going to get it together? Like, and I got my degree in PR from the University of YouTube. You know what I'm saying? So if I can look at it and figure out, like, girl, that's a little bit too much. I don't understand why the people who are getting paid the big bucks to be there don't understand that. Inside of the Grammys, we will talk about the Nicki Minaj shade of it all. Listen, I know Billy Porter said, fuck, fuck. Okay. I know that's what he said. But my wish in 2026 is if you present as a Nicki Minaj in life, may your wigs never be melted. Okay. May they always look bubbled up and bruised up like Nicki Minaj looked at that White House. May you waddle into places the way that Nicki Minaj waddled into that White House. May your BBO deflate. May one drop and be 3 inches lower than the other one while the other one is inverted. Those are the things that I wish for you in your life. And I know that people are like, oh, it's just politics. It's not that deep. It's not that. It is that deep. It is that deep. And I've said this before and I will continue to say it. Anytime you bet against the house, anytime you bet against your own personal self interest, you're an idiot. And there's a nicer way to say that probably, but like at this point in the 2026 of it all, why are we coddling? Why are we holding hands? You have built your career, you have made money, you have been able to enter the rooms that you were able to enter in because of Black people, queer people, the Black and brown community. For you to turn around and aligning yourself with Trump, and we will get into this when Tanya gets in here. This is just the opening, but aligning yourself with somebody who doesn't view you as a human being, who already views you as less than, even if they see it for you. Motherfucker, they don't see it for your community. And what good is the world if it's only you? What fun is first class if the homies can't come? You want to be in first class by yourself? I'm the one token nigger they see. Are you looking for betterment for your community, for the people who support you, for the people who uplift you, for the people who are around you? Like at some point, we have to define what the fuck we're doing. We're perishing because we don't have a goal in mind. Everybody's just, well, I don't want to pull a gun on them. I just want equality. Meanwhile, whole time we got to explain to you why it's a problem that these celebrities was at the White House advisor's wedding. I don't understand what doesn't compute for y'all. And maybe Tanya will help it compute. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome for the first time to Noted, Miss PR guru, Miss Tanya McKenzie. Woo!
Good morning, everybody. I'm thrilled to be here. And yes, looking forward to getting into all of this shenanigans because clearly that's what it is.
No, shenanigans is crazy. This is completely off topic. You know, I love you in real life. And I was looking at your family and I am so jealous because all of y'all look alike. And your daughter looks just like you. And when I was pregnant with my daughter, my family, my father's side of the family, our genes were strong. Me, my dad, my uncle, my aunt, we all look alike, right? My mother would go to the mall with me and my aunt, and they would walk up to my aunt and be like, "Your daughter's so cute." And my mom would be like, "Hello." So when I got pregnant, I popped big shit. You hear me the whole pregnancy. I'm like, how is it gonna feel to have a daughter that doesn't look like you? My baby's gonna look like me, blah, 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 blah. Girl,
You did not.
ate crow is what I had to do.
Right.
Okay.
Right. All that and nobody looks like me. I feel like the dog in the family, meaning, you know how people start looking like their pet or their pet starts looking like them? I think maybe they're starting to look like me, but they are all spitting images of him. And I
No,
don't know.
that little girl, that's your twin.
And that's new because she used to look like her dad in his family. And I was
I
like,
pray
I
that
did
for
all
me.
this. And you know, she is a twin. She's a twin.
Yes, she is.
So, and she did not come here looking like me. So I was really in my feelings in the hospital recovering from stitches and other things because
And
one
then
was
they walk in
vaginal.
like, Mom, the baby looks so much like Dad. Is that what I want to hear while the epidural wears
Right.
off?
Not today. Not today.
Is
So
everybody okay? Tanya, say hello to the people. I guess the note takers. I don't know what you guys want to be called, but say hello to the people. Tell them who you are, what you do. Give them a little 1-2. I'm going to mute so that I can also set up on Instagram, but I am listening.
greetings, good people. So glad to be here. Tanya McKenzie here, your chief controller. One thing I know about public relations is it is the one thing that helps you control the narrative about yourself, about the situations you're in, about your brand. So I have fashioned myself as someone that helps people understand that part. I am a Bay Area native. So I am full California. I live in Los Angeles, California right now, actually Redondo Beach. I'm an LA County commissioner of alcohol and other drugs. So I, play in the political playground, but we serve. We are problem solvers. So on top of helping people understand their own brand, how to communicate that, how to control the narrative. I also serve the people. So I have a very vast understanding of what's going on and how we make a difference for those that actually want to.
Girl, first of all, it's the we actually serve that, that's one of the things amongst many that I love about you. I am a get out on the grounds, especially where you live, right? Like it's your job to make the places that you occupy better than how you found them.
Right.
Whatever that looks like, big or small. So I love like your community work. I love it a little bit more because again, as mentioned, you got 50, 11 kids, a husband, like
All the things.
PR guru, and then you're like in the community. And if anybody knows anything about community work, she's not easy.
It's not. And it's thankless. It's not easy and it's thankless because you don't understand the work it took to get you the services or the support that you needed. Right.
Louder, louder. I would like to start at the Grammys. I named this episode, Does the White House Have a PR Crisis? Very intentionally because I think number one, SZA said it right at the Grammys last night. At some point, we do have to like laugh. We still have to remember that we're humans. We still have to remember like honestly, even if it all crumbles tomorrow, what can you individually do about it? You know what I mean? Put on the housewives, get you some rosé, get you some Cheetos, and like enjoy. But also, there is a power in knowledge. And I find that in today's world where the news cycle is moving so fast, news cycle has always moved fast. In the last 6 months, I'm like, oh, what's
What is going
what's
on?
going on?
What's going on?
What's
But here's the thing, it moves fast, but our job is to move slow and process it and not allow for it to control us. And I think we start feeling that blowback when we're trying to, especially in the professions that we're in. I'm also
happening?
a podcaster, so I see you. You know, we have to make sure we're getting the nuggets to be able to deliver to the people, but they're doing that on purpose. And our job, that's why I always say control the narrative. Don't let all of this spin control us. We're the ones that need to take a step back and see what's going on because
We're the
it
ones that
does
need to stop
feel
and take
like
some notes.
drinking from a water hose.
Frolicking around, touching grass. Like we need to do the things again. If you are over on the Instagram, hello, hi, come and join us. We are on YouTube and Facebook over at Women for the Culture. You can be a part of the conversation. You can do all of the things. If not, stay where you are. Do your thing, bro. Ain't nobody stopping you. Starting with the Grammys, right? So last night, and we always, I don't want to say always, we've been beginning to see this trend happen where celebrities use their platforms to speak about the things that matter to them happening on a national scale. Before we get into the things that are said, what is your take on like celebrities giving you their political thoughts and all of that? Like, should they shut up and play basketball for all intents and purposes, or do you enjoy getting that from them?
I enjoy getting at because it lets us know who they are. And the thing about branding, when you speak on something that's a part of your brand, you're telling people who you are so they can fuck with you or not. You know what I'm saying? It's
That's
not
it.
just I'm saying things so people can like me. I'm saying things also so those that are not aligned with me don't expect this other thing from me.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So I
Mm-hmm.
appreciate it on top of the fact that art is political. So it's really weird, especially art. If you want to, just say that about sports, say that. But art has traditionally been political all the way back to the Roman times when they talk about it. It was a political statement. It was how I feel about something. That's why I painted the thing. That's why I molded the clay with these emotions that are coming from me about a certain uh, social box that they're putting me in. It's weird now that people want to try to say these things are not political, stay in your box. Who are you if you're not political? Politics is about life and how you live. So I love to hear it because that lets me know, do I want to support them or not? Let me know.
Okay,
And I
now.
appreciate that. Even if I don't support you, I appreciate you being honest enough and standing behind your stuff enough to say this is what I believe.
I appreciate it. I genuinely hate when people are like, I'm not political, or I don't do politics, baby. It's gonna do you every day.
Do you?
It's gonna
It's,
do you if you don't
and then
do
you're
it.
going to want the support. Then you're going to want the support, but then you didn't want to voice your opinion when it mattered and when it was time. That's
You were
weak.
too scared to speak up, and now you want to scream, say her name.
It's weak to me. It's just weak. It's fear. It's fear based. When you're not speaking up, it's because you're scared of something. So that means you need to grow a spine about that said thing. And for a lot of women, sometimes it's because their husband might not
Mm-hmm.
appreciate it. It's not even always the audience. Hell, many times they might get more support voicing what they truly feel. But we're also in a time where, this whole you know where we are with the
I think
politics
we're
of
at a
the day.
time too where people have to define what they want out of it, whether that be podcasting, whether that be celebrity, whether that be whatever. You have to decide what you want out of it. I've told this story before, and let me preface this by saying that me and this content creator have since had a conversation. Nevertheless, Trump gets elected, a content creator comes online and says some things that are just like kind of crazy, considering the fact that while white presenting, this person is a minority, right? This person has been public about issues and stuff that again fall on the minority side, that aren't really seen by the Republicans and all of that. And they said some like just really wild shit, right? So I go to this mutual that we have, the podcaster that made the statement in common, and I say to her like, "Yo, did you see this shit? Like, what the fuck?" Right? I'm literally just venting. At the original point, I wasn't looking for her to do anything, because no more than I am a library for somebody who doesn't understand something inside of my culture. You know what I mean? They're not my savior. I didn't go over there like, "Oh my God, help me." But help was presented. "Oh my God, that is crazy. I'm going to say something." Okay, cool. Then it was, "Oh, actually, I'm not going to say something because I'm scared." And this person can say, aha, right? My feelings on what it is to be an ally to the side. Again, you're scared of blowback. This person has just literally showed you who they were, and you had a problem with it. And now the issue is blowback because maybe you won't be able to play in their sandbox, or do you have a problem, or do you not?
Do you not?
And that's what I mean when I say we have to start defining it. We are way past the point of things being gray. It's black or it's white. Like, you have to get into it. Anyway, let's move on.
Oh,
Bad bad
we're not going to talk about Grandpa sundowning last night and woke up coming for Trevor. We're not going to get into
Oh
that
no,
part
we're
of the.
on to the Grammys. That's what I was moving on to, Grammy topics. There's a whole list. There's The Grammys are not getting off that easy. Pharrell got on stage and told y'all motherfuckers to work. We will be talking.
For free.
After he told y'all that DEI wasn't necessary, and that all lives mattered. But you know, again, and here's the celebrity space. I very much say this when it pertains to the Bravo of it all, right? Like, at some point in this Hollywood entertainment world, you are going to have to cherry pick, right? Like, you are going to have to be able to laugh at Ramona doing Turtle Time and then understand that she's a fucking MAGA. Like, you have to never buy any of her merch. Like, you know what I mean? You have to figure it out. Another example is we're giving Dre all of these kudos, all of these things on this big stage, such as the Grammys, and the motherfucker's a woman beater. He liked to knock women's eardrums loose. I don't like what. That's not a joke about domestic violence. I'm saying that is a big man, and we know what he be doing to women. But we up here praising him like,
But
let's
he
start
started a school. But he started a school in Compton.
because fuck the
Okay.
police, you know. Um,
But it's nuanced. And I think that's the other part that we don't get to deal with is the nuance of it. The other side is all or nothing. You're all with me, you with me
mhm.
completely, or you're nothing.
Yeah,
They don't nuance anything. And that's how we get in these conundrums.
that's how we get into the Twitter storm that was Nicki Minaj last night. I do want to start off at the top, right? So the
I missed that.
overarching theme of the Grammys was very obviously Ice, and then subsequently Alex Peretti, Keith Porter, and Rachel Good, right? All of these names were mentioned, all of these fuck the police, right? So starting I guess midway, right, where Trevor Noah is constantly going to sit with Bad Bunny during the Grammys, constantly having conversations with him. And who was it that was sitting behind him, like mean mugging, like Lady Gaga, like.
But she just looks like that sometimes.
She does just look like that sometimes, but we've also lost her. Like, and when I say we've lost her, I don't even mean we've lost her to the maggots. Like, sis is in I'm rich and I literally do this for fun cuckoo land.
Yep. And I come back when I feel like it, and when I don't, I don't, and that's it.
But I think first of all, a lot of people were so mouthy. For those of you who don't know, this was the last year that the Grammys will be aired and syndicated on CBS. They are moving to ABC. So after 54 years, I believe, at CBS, they are moving on. So this is the last broadcast that CBS is in control of, which is why Trevor Noah kept making a lot of the jokes of like, I can say whatever I want because like they're genuinely not inviting me back because there's no show to invite me back to. Something that I found very interesting, because I think it's very easy to highlight all of the good speeches, all of the people that use their platform for good. Last night, there were a lot of things that I found interesting, and the overarching was like, oh shit, these people really are privileged, right? Mm-hmm. And not in a rich type of way, but like Cher getting on stage being like, just live. It's gonna be all right. Cher is 79 and she's been famous since she was 19.
And she said that.
Yeah, it's gonna be all right for you, 79-year-old lady who dates a 12-year-old.
I'm leaving here soon anyway, so on my way out.
Many of the artists use their moment to protest ICE and U.S. immigration and ICE enforcement to push back on federal policies. Bad Bunny opened his acceptance speech with ICE out and received a standing ovation, urging compassion over hate. Before I ask you what you think, I just want to remind the people that the opposite of love is not hate. The opposite of love is indifference. You can be indifferent. You cannot like something. You can have an issue with something and not also harbor hate at the same time. And I feel like we forget that sometimes. The floor is yours.
You know, it was refreshing. I'll put it to you like this. This is what I told my husband. I didn't understand much of what he was saying. I'm from East San Jose, so I got a little Spanglish in me. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So I didn't understand all of what he said, but I don't understand most of what these damn rappers are saying today either. So there's that, right?
Okay. I can bop to that. I can bop to him.
On top of the fact that he did stop midway through his last acceptance speech and he told us what he was talking about. So yes. It allowed for us to take a moment to just give him his moment. Mm-hmm. And just because we didn't understand, don't mean that the other half of the audience didn't understand. You know, you got Gloria Estefan there and other Latin artists that absolutely knew what he was saying. On top of the fact that we support them also. So we support a Sheila E. We support Gloria Estefan. We support those that also understand what he's saying. So that's us standing in solidarity with, I don't understand exactly what you're saying, but we understand you. We understand the moment. We understand where history is taking us, and we don't want to be there. So what you got going on, we're with you. And I think that's what that moment said for the audience that was there and for the ones that tuned in, because it wasn't after his first time up there, we were not unclear about what this night was about. We never have. We never have. So to even watch it and complain is tomfoolery. Like, what are you doing?
Well, that's the thing. It's like you're going to complain every year, right? Because if you believe that despite all of the work and despite all of the accolades, if you believe that Beyonce purchased her AOTY win last year, then you would have to assume that the same thing happens this year and then next year and the year after that. If they're available to be sold, they're going to be purchased. That's number one. Number two, the man is doing the Super Bowl. At this big age, we've all ingested enough television to know what a publicity fucking run looks like. Like, you're on a run. Duh. Number three, what better way to say fuck you to an immigration to an administration, excuse me, than to put somebody on a stage who very much embodies this melting pot idea of what America is supposed to be, right? What our founding fathers, because we love to quote them, created. And you put it right here on main stage for the whole world to watch and force, whether you agree with it or not, whether you like where the world is going or not, you forced people last night to acknowledge, holy shit, this is what America looks like.
Yep. Yep. And Puerto Ricans are Americans, and he got a chance to say that too.
That's what I'm saying, because this is what America looks like. Like, quite literally, this
Right.
is America. You have no right, no legal standing, no nothing to deny me of the same rights that you have, or to tell me that I can't be in a space that you can't be in or occupy, or to tell me that I can't have an award because no other Latin person has done it before. Okay, barriers are meant to be broken.
Absolutely. On top of I didn't realize his shoulders were that broad. I was like, he might fuck you up. You might want to leave him alone.
He got up there in that suit. I said, now wait a minute, Bad Bunny. Hold on.
Okay. So it was a good look. I just think it was a good look all the way around. If you understood him or not, like I said, I don't understand half these rappers, but I digress. It was a moment to let you know this is where we are, this is where we're standing, and we're not going back.
That's it.
We're not going back. But also looking back at a time where, when Michael Jackson was a first, when TLC was a first, there's always going to be a first. And then we move forward from there. So continuing to act like the whitewashed Grammys of the past is what you're going to continue to see is just disingenuous.
It is extremely disingenuous, and I feel like that last night was needed, and I don't know necessarily what it will help. I hope that it will open some eyes and it'll spark some conversations, especially in a world where now Trump is saying that he's going to Ohio, and now we're going to be targeting Haitians, right? It's been scary from the beginning. I want to make that very clear. However, the part that makes it like absolutely terrifying is you can't look at a Haitian person or a Black person and say that person's Haitian, that person's not Haitian. Us as people of color, you know what I mean? You could,
we Dominican, we whatever.
You know what I'm saying?
No, you can't tell.
So now what and where does it end? If it's Latinos today and it's Haitians tomorrow, who is it the day after that? And we have not found a way collectively, whether we're using our voices at the Grammys or on big stages or not, we haven't found a way to stop this. The closest that we've gotten to it is the government or the Democrats saying, like, actually, no, we're not going to fund the government. And now we're in a partial shutdown. So again, I pose the question, who's winning?
Well, I'll put it to you like this. Black folks taking a back seat and allowing for those that created this mess to clean up this mess is a win. And I know people don't see it that way, and they continue to say we need to be out there working, but us not being out there has allowed for them to show their hand also. It has allowed for them to make the mistakes that they continuously make and disrupt their plan, because the plan was to have us outside. That's also why you continue to hear him scream about arresting Obama. If you don't go sit down somewhere while you sundowning, cut it out, okay? Cut it out. And he thinks that's going to get us to react. So continuing to stick to what we decided to do early on, I think is the win. Again, it's showing them who's controlling the narrative around here.
And I think that it's a reminder of like, what the fuck is happening? What we're seeing in Minnesota is horrible. Full stop. That's the sentence. New paragraph. It's been fucking happening in America to people
To
who
us.
look like you and I for fucking centuries, not
Absolutely.
decades, not years, not
Absolutely.
a moment in time, centuries. Okay. And again, which is why, because I've seen some comments too of like, well, if people are just saying her name, why are people so mad about who's using it? Because say her name, quotes like say her name, quotes like Black Lives Matter, quotes like say his name too, came because y'all wouldn't fucking say it.
Because you wouldn't,
You wouldn't
wouldn't,
acknowledge.
wouldn't even
You would
acknowledge it.
you wouldn't acknowledge the Sandra Bland's, the Tamir Rice's, the Lucius Harrells, who's my grandfather, who doesn't make public news, but also was killed by the police officer, execution style, in his head. Okay. You weren't saying the names. And we needed a way to get you to realize, oh my God, they're killing us in the street. Like for no fucking reason. Can you help us? No help. Help was nigh. We say her name. Still don't get help. And now another tragedy happens. Again, tragic in its own right. She did not deserve that. Rachel Good should still be here. Keith Porter should still be here. Alex Brady should still be here. But then when that happens and you finally wake up and say, oh my God, this is crazy. You want to say her name, bitch. Now we gonna say it, but you gonna find another slogan in this motherfucker. Like,
Yeah.
because
It's the whataboutism for me. It's the whataboutism when it happens to us. And now the whataboutism is happening to you and you don't like it. And that's all we were trying to get you to understand from the jump.
that's all we were trying to get you to understand. But now that you're like starting to get it, now we have to argue, oh, well, she shouldn't have been driving the car and she shouldn't have.
Come on, cut it out.
Bring it to an end. And while all of that is happening, people like Pharrell are taking to the main stage the creative director of fucking Louis Vuitton. He is earned all that he has earned. He's receiving these accolades, and then he gets on that stage and tells you, number one, I told my husband that whole speech was him soundbite farming. He was looking for a viral clip. The whole speech. It was like everything he said was like, and I'm saying this. No, motherfucker, we didn't clip it. Like, stop. It's not profound. So he starts off saying that he doesn't like listening to, or it's hard to listen to his old work sometimes because it's like listening to an old voicemail. And then, like, did you want us to clap for that? That made no sense. It was so dumb.
Because the old you is who we fell in love with. So why would you say that? Why would you say that?
No, why would you say, I love that. Why would you say that?
Did you think about what you said? Here's the thing from a PR perspective, okay? People do not do media training. They think they are so above it. They screw up so bad. You think because you have made it so far in your career that there are certain elements and fundamentals of public speaking that you don't need anymore. If you would have ran that by a publicist, somebody would have told you that sounds stupid.
If you would have ran it by somebody with ears,
that's embarrassing. You're gonna pigeonhole yourself in to a situation where you're gonna look crazy. Don't say that. Please don't say that. I would have told him, please don't say that. Because the old Pharrell is why you're here now. The old Pharrell is who we fell in love with. The old Pharrell is what gave you the credentials so that people would even buy an album that you produce. The old Pharrell. We don't even know this new guy. Like, truth be told, like, who are you? What are you doing? What are you
after
talking about?
He said all lives matter and then started aging, Pharrell was like the epitome of black don't crack. And then he opened up his mouth and said all lives matter, and the black started cracking.
Just cracking. Like, what are you doing?
The thing
and I don't even think, I feel bad sometimes. I'm like, I don't know. He's not functioning like he understands what he's doing. He's functioning like he's in the box that he puts himself in when he's working with the high-end designers. Yeah. He's not functioning as someone that connected with Black audiences with his hip hop.
He functions like he operates spaces on a daily basis that like tells him, oh, you're Pharrell and you're so great. And yeah, everything you say is smart. He functions like he doesn't operate in a space where there's pushback, where there's devil's advocate, where there's
actual
real,
comprehension of
I
what he
was about
said?
to say real life, like I don't know, like people going to the grocery store. But my question would have been, again, with my PR degree from the University of YouTube, what are you trying to say, right? Because back in the day, people who understand, you even have to be of a certain age to even get the voicemail reference, right? Voicemails are available on phones, but not the way we used to use them, not the way he was implying. So you have to be of a certain age to get that, right? If you get that, then you know that we used to listen to the voicemails over and over and over and over and over again. It was the playback. It was making them skits on the album. So to say, oh, I don't like listening to it, when people in fact listen to their voicemails, my question is, what are you trying to say?
What are you trying to say? And
So then,
today, I still don't know. I still don't know. Because you would have thought that the blowback from what he said before and that in front of that group of people when he started talking about he don't believe in DEI and the whole thing, there was a lot of blowback from that. And he tried to clean it up. I digress. But this time you turned around and did the same thing.
this is
Why
who
would
he
you do
is.
that? I don't understand.
This is who he is. And again, this is what I say when we talk like mega level celebrity and entertainment, there's a level of cherry picking that you have to do, because in order to clap for this Black man who is receiving this award and all that he's done in his career, as a fan of him, you have to act like you don't know that, oh boy, excuse me, from God, what's his name, that Pharrell used to produce with the Asian guy, is suing him. You have to
Right.
act like you don't know that Khalees didn't make any money because Pharrell was doing bad deals. You have to act like you don't know anything about this man's personality in order to clap for that. And then you put all of that to the side and he gets up there and gives you an adapted version of Kim Kardashian. It seems like nobody wants to do the work anymore.
Cut it.
Chad Hugo. Thank you, Chad. I'm like, a tone deaf musician. Exactly. It's exactly what it is, because like, is
Come
everybody
on.
okay? Like,
No. And the answer is no. And the answer is no. And the answer is no. That's it.
the answer is no. Let's walk it back from the Grammys. The thing that was taking up a lot of conversation, as we just said, was the Ice and the Alex Peretti of it all. The story of Alex Peretti, as it has come from the White House, I think we were on the 4th version now. The current version, so version 1 was he was an agitator, he was a disruptor, he should have been shot and killed because he had a gun on him. And then the NRA said, I'm sorry, what? Because you carry a gun, you are subject to lose your life. What's going on here? And are
When
you
the
talking to us
NRA puts out a
specifically?
statement,
And when I don't know if you saw, but I made a video and I was like, my new goal in life is to be as influential as the NRA. That's what I want. They put out one statement. And they really didn't have to put that out. They really just had to say, we finna put out a statement.
yep.
They put out one statement and narratives change. So then we moved to narrative number 2, which was, okay, we're going to take Steve Bavino out of Minneapolis. Steve Bavino is I always get this wrong, the border control commander at large. There you go. So many words. He has been likened to a modern day, rhymes with Yahtzee. He's really not like a good person in terms of views and how he sees people who aren't white. So we move him out of Minneapolis. We move in the border czar. We say that, it was an accident. We have to investigate, and Alex shouldn't have lost his life. Then we come back with the next story that was Alex Peretti was an insurrectionist. And that one, out of all of them, pissed me off, because if you can call Alex Peretti an insurrectionist, what the fuck were those people on January 6th? And why didn't you call them the same? Then we moved on, and where we left off was we have a video of what appears to be Alex Peretti from 11 days prior to him being killed, getting into an altercation with federal ICE agents. This narrative implies, they did not say it, but it implies that he should have lost his life because he was already flippant with federal agents. those are the takes so that everybody's informed. You now have the floor to break them down, share your thoughts, control.
Listen, so Alex was shot and killed by federal agents during an immigration operation. Okay. The White House's response emphasized that Alex had confronted agents 11 days earlier. That disclosure was presented as context, and they're putting that context out to try to influence public opinion because they had lost public opinion. In crisis comms, that is victim shaming, victim framing, victim shaming, call it what you like. We don't do that. We don't do that. Okay. They thought they were adding background, and what they actually did was put the victim on trial. You don't do that, and you don't win by doing that. And the reason that their strategy failed is because they misdiagnosed the crisis, which is always what they do. They misdiagnose the crisis. The same way that they have attributed migrants as the crisis, the affordability crisis in America, is the same way they have misdiagnosed this crisis. The crisis is use of force, not Pettit's past behavior. The public outrage is about what happened in the moment he was killed, not what happened 2 weeks earlier. And if you answer the wrong question, you don't solve the crisis. So you just expose your blind spots. And their blind spot is usually themselves. They never, ever get it right. Also, it's been said before that, you know, Trump or his administration never apologize. Like their job is never to apologize. So if you've already stood on that, you're not going to be honest about where the problem actually occurred. And I hate the whataboutism. Like, well, what about when Barack did this? And what about Biden? We're in the moment right now, and you are making this crisis worse. They shifted from, trying to do the accountability thing, which they never do, back to character assassination. So introducing the past conflict just alleviated the federal agents' actions, which then puts the community back on defense. Like,
Yes.
what are you talking about? When government starts, listen, I've been doing this a long time, and I will tell you, when government starts narrating the dead person's flaws instead of explaining the government's conduct, their credibility is shit.
Well, it's been shit. First of all, I just want to put it out there, like as a rule of thumb, as everybody moves forward in their 2026 life, there are 9 million different makeup companies out there with like a total of 40 billion different shades. If you were talking to somebody who cannot shade match, that's the problem. Okay. Like we are taking notes from an administration who cannot color match a concealer to the president's hand. Hello? That should just be like, I just want that to be the baseline going forward. Like, I wish for everybody in their 2026 era to like not argue and not take the word of people who cannot color match their foundation. And I think
Maybe they thought because they think you can't see the makeup line, just like they thought you couldn't see the video showing Alex get pinned to the ground and shot in the head. That's it.
like you couldn't hear him say that people like it when they grab him by the Hello Kitties.
Right.
My point is my point is we are 3 presidents past Obama in the most respectful way as it pertains to narratives and, as you said, the whataboutisms. Like we have to stop invoking his name. Like it's just not his fault anymore. Like why are we talking about Obama? Period. Number one. Number two,
Black people. They're doing everything they can to get Black people to act up.
This administration has been ass backwards in their messaging and in their everything, and I think that it's just proof that the fish rots from the head down. That we have a felon in office. We expected order and decency and decorum. No, this is the shit show that I expect. The issue becomes, and please share your thoughts. What do you do at this stage? the people who have shown us who they are, right? It's easy to say, oh, we know who Nicki Minaj is, believe it. Okay, we're not going to buy any more music. We're not going to support. We're not going to buy the shoes. Got it. How do you cancel an administration? How do you know that they're lying, know that they're telling you and putting these masked federal agents? We've got a second video from the administration on Alex Peretti, and we don't have names of the officers. Like, you know what I mean? So what do you do as you're getting this, again, this information that you can't really do anything about?
Not only, and let me just say this, not only do we not know the names of these officers, and I think it's been coming out, but even that second video that they showed, they only showed a clip. So we can do what they've always done to us is we don't even know what happened before that for him to be that irate. Would you like
Mhm.
to expand on that?
Yeah.
You show us a clip of something happening, but you don't show us how it even got to that point. On
All while
top of
telling us he's an ICU nurse, he works with vets. So everything that you're telling us about this man tells us that he knows how to regulate his emotions. So if we're
right.
watching him kick out taillights, yeah, I would like to know how we got there.
Lack of empathy, and I think the public being complicit and allowing for them to have lack of empathy. Empathy isn't a weakness. It was usually the entry point. It's what most politicians use to get into the door of the public.
Mhm.
Empathy, showing how I can see this happening, showing how I can understand your feelings. They don't even bother to do that. And the biggest part of this is that they keep using the DOJ, which used to have some level of respect, but the
Mhm.
DOJ doesn't fix their comms problem because no one even trusts the DOJ right now.
Yeah.
So it comes down to us being able to, or them, or whoever knows these people, to humanize the people that are being impacted in these stories.
Mm.
And I think when people
Mhm.
started sharing more stories about him and the work that he's done, even outside of that moment, has really left them shaken because they're so good at positioning people in the most negative light, no matter what. What is it? Abrigo Garcia? They try to savagely deteriorate this man's reputation to get him out of this country. And at every turn, they've lost in front of judges and conservative judges at that. But I think part of that is how people have humanized the victims. And, the truth of the matter is, this administration has lost more than they've won. They
Mhm.
just scream louder about their wins,
Mhm.
but they've lost in court way more than they've won. And the
Well, they
public
lost
doesn't
in court
know.
trying to arrest Don Lemon before they went and got him anyway.
Oh, that's a
They
conversation.
they lose all the time. They're just,
They
how
keep
Portia say it, lose,
losing.
and Portia Phaedra,
But we have to be
losers.
as loud about the wins and humanizing victims as they are about the few wins that they get. And that's really all we're left with because the truth is going to continue to be the truth. Lies continue to fall apart.
I like that. I like that.
I
It is
mean,
our job, and I think too, as content creators, and I know you probably feel this, you get told so much who you're not. You're not a journalist. You're not a blah blah blah, and it's like, okay. I mean, all of those things you tried to put on me. Yeah, in the one time when my page was still Bravo Niche, I did call myself a journalist, but it was a play on Portia. When Portia first got the job at Dish Nation, she was like, "I'm a journalist now. Like I'm credible. I make the news." Like so, it was a quote, a play on her. But I've never got caught up in the title, right? Like I have a platform. This is how I choose to use it. This is the information that I choose to. I don't think it needs to be parsed through as well. This person is a journalist, and this person does like.
the truth is
Is
the
it
truth is the truth.
exactly. Is it truthful? And that really is just all that there is because the fact of the matter is, and you used the word earlier, it's the nuance. You can sit on somebody's page and somebody will tell you, and they will be completely right. We ain't got no time to sit around and watch no housewives and no reality TV. You need to know what's going on. You need to be abreast. You need to know about all of these elections. And they would be completely right. Like, we don't have time, but that is going to lead to burnout. Then you go to another person's page and they're like, their version of the Real. On the Real, when it was on Tamar, Adrian, Lonnie, and them, they were big on not really doing a lot of news because they wanted their hour to feel like a break. They wanted you to come over here and feel like you could escape. Some would say we ain't got no time to escape. Some people say you need to escape to stay sane. You need to find the things that make you happy, the content creators that make you happy, the news that, you know what I mean, that fulfills you, that gets you the truth, but also doesn't make you feel like that doomsday clock is getting ready to go off, you know?
Here's
Because
the other, really quick.
no, go ahead.
For people that want to criticize content creators and not call them journalists, there are accredited journalists over at Fox where a judge said they are not news. So would you rather be a content creator creating content you know is true, or be a journalist, a credited journalist who studied journalism on a station that can't even be considered news and credible? Everybody has choices. The nuance is heavy, and you have to decide where you stand on the issues. I would much rather listen to a content creator that tells the truth than a journalist who lies.
Mm, mm. And with that said, y'all make sure y'all streaming Don Lemon on YouTube.
Yeah, yeah. Lemon heads, lemon heads.
um, okay, so I have a segment on the show, and it's called What the L.
Mm.
It is a story. You can use names, you can whatever, but give us a story, something that happened to you that left you feeling like, girl, what the hell is going on here?
You know what? This is relevant since we're talking about Black folks continuing to find joy and, watching the Grammys and just finding your joy. I lived in the Bay Area and I worked in Walnut Creek. And for those that don't know, Walnut Creek is a very high end area. I was a manager for a private fitness club there. And we were in a meeting, and the owner is white, nice lady, and her daughter is very white too. And she ran the like the child care center or whatever. Anyways, we used to have these meetings, and you know how you always feel like someone's watching you, staring at you, and
Mm-hmm.
you'd be like this, and I would turn around and no one was staring at me. One day, I was in the middle of giving my report, and I stopped talking and I turned around and looked, and the daughter was staring at me like she was like seething, like you could feel her burning a hole in my neck. And then I just stopped the meeting and I was like, why are you staring at me? She said, Tanya, I am just so enamored by your hair and like everything about you. And I was like, why? Because I've never really been around Black people. And I was like, what the hell?
What the hell?
What the hell? But the truth of the matter is, there are people that have never really been around us. And when I
Yeah.
went to Grambling, there was students there that had never
You better
really been
name drop.
with white, no, right? When I went to Grambling some umpteen years ago, there were, our people that had never, they used to talk to us from California. They'd be like, y'all go to school with white people? Like, for real? Like, that's a thing? So I say that to say there are parts of our country that don't function like the rest of us. Like we
Mm-hmm.
think everybody just, is integrated and just has this wonderful little kumbaya moment. So we don't understand how we got into this fix that we're in. No, there are literally places and people that have never dealt with Black people in real life. There are literal places where
Yes.
Black people really just don't be hanging out with white folks. That is cultural. It is
Yep.
very cultural. But
It is
that
very
girl
much
staring
so.
at me like she had lost her mind in that moment, she was just like, oh, she was like, for real. And that's why I think social media is really the biggest issue with racism, because there's a lot of white people that did not know Black folks were out in this world living their best life. And
Mm-hmm.
social media has let them
Mm-hmm.
see no matter how bad times have been, no matter how rough shit has
Mhm.
gotten, they still out here dancing and putting out movies and doing great and driving these Bugattis and G wagons. How is
Yeah.
this going on? What is the world is going on? And I think a lot of that is where this outrage comes from with racism because they didn't know we were outside living our best life, no matter how hard they tried. For her, she just didn't know, and I was joyful. Like I like to laugh. I'm gonna laugh. I don't care how bad things are gonna
Oh
get.
yeah, I'm
I'm
laughing.
laughing
I'm
at
laughing.
you and me. But that was the most what the L moment for me. I was probably like in my late 20s, I believe, maybe early 30s. And I was like, this is freaking weird. And it took me
Crazy.
a minute. She was
I
like, you're
remember the first time that I met a Black person who had never met a white person before. Like, and I couldn't comprehend it. So I'm like, so when you say never,
like, what?
I I did not get it. But then so I have a cousin and she graduated from like a generally mixed race high school, right? And one time she was coming home and she was dealing, my cousin is black through and through, but she pulled some of them jeans. So she's ambiguously black looking, but it
Mm,
ain't no ambiguity to it. Like, that's a nigga. um, and so she was dealing with her issues. It just one of those like obviously not white enough for the white kids, but not black enough for the black kids.
mhm,
And she came home and she told her mom, like, I want to go to the school that like we're zoned for because her mom had her in a different school because there's more black people there and blah blah blah. And she said, you think it's gonna be more or less black people in your workforce when you get to the job that you want to do? And she was like, honestly, probably more white. And she said, and do you think the first time that you should learn how to handle that should be at the job? She was like, this world doesn't look like HBCUs and all of those things are very important, needed as the mother graduated from an HBCU, but it's like it's not a vacuum. And so if you only exist and if you only know how to be comfortable and you only learn how to be yourself in spaces and in rooms where you only where the people only look like you, I'm doing you a disservice. I'm doing you a disservice. And she put that girl in so many just different activities to make sure that she just wasn't only growing up with one version of an experience. Like, she tapped into everything that she had access to. And that really stood out to me because while I am a suburban girl, I went to school in the inner city. And I was like 14 when I realized privilege isn't just having a black card and being able to, like, you know what I mean? Like there's still a hierarchy to it and it doesn't just look like one thing. And I didn't know that. I don't think that I needed to know that at
mhm.
my life at 14 prior to, but being able to leave the suburbs, honestly, that's what it was, and then go to this inner city school on a regular basis and just see all of the things that like other 14-year-olds had to even just consider that
Right.
never had to cross my brain. And then I would be in there, and then I had friends who had never left like that county. They grew up in
Yep.
that county and they never, oh, I've never been to such and such county. Again, like the white people. So when you say you ain't never been, you mean for a long
He's
time?
like, never, never.
You ain't never visited for days? And they're like, no, bitch, like I never got in my car and went. Like I up from 14 years of my life, that never even felt like a possibility. Because while it wasn't like, oh, we're in the Grand Caymans, like, we weren't traveling like that. But my parents made sure there was a summer vacation. We're getting out of this place. You need to see a little bit more. If I can change what you can see, I can change what you can dream and what you can like want to be. And so that really kind of shapes even perspective, like when I make content, right? Like just knowing that we haven't all had the same level and access to education. And I make a lot of jokes about it, like, oh, y'all are kids that are left behind because that's the internet and it's fun. But the truth is, the internet is one big gin pop. We're in class with kids that we wouldn't have been in class with in school.
On top of the red states are behind in education. Let's keep it a buck. And that is a large portion of our population.
New Jersey is bringing back cursive for the first time in 15 years. It will now be a requirement, I believe. Sixth grade, I think, is where they said it was starting.
Good.
Please don't
Well,
quote me on that, but
we
it's
started
needed.
at like fourth, so.
Fourth, girl, I was in the second grade getting in trouble for my S's in cursive. By fourth grade, print was not
Not
accepted,
even acceptable.
not acceptable. And by fifth grade, it was no pencil and no print. So we
I
could,
think
up
if I
until
want
fourth.
to leave a secret note to my husband, I could just write it in cursive now that I think about it. And leave it on the table. Kids would know what the hell that is.
We went somewhere with my daughter and they were like, okay, kids, like you have to sign your accountability paper. And they were like, how do we do that? And I like, my daughter, she's had a cursive book because I homeschool.
Yeah.
But my husband and I have always talked about like, no, these kids need to learn how to write in cursive. It's something to it. They was on to something. So she knew what she was doing, but to be in a room full of kids that were like, so
What
when
is
you
that?
say sign, what you mean? And the only reason they knew it was different because one said print your name, sign your name. So they're like, okay, I know how to print it. And if this is print, then
What's
obviously
this?
you want something different.
Right.
You don't want me
What
to
is
print
that?
it again. How do I sign it?
Stupid.
Like you don't even got the first letter down in cursive?
Nope.
That's
Nope.
crazy.
It is crazy. It's crazy work how we've gotten here.
That's
But I
wild.
feel
When
like
I think
they've been
about
trying
all
to
of the detention that I
dummy
sat
down.
in for
They've been
cursive.
trying to dummy down our society for a while now, and I don't understand it, and I refuse to
Oh no, you understand it.
comply. I refuse.
I said the same thing, and somebody said that to me. They said, "No, you understand very well what is
Mhm.
going on.
You understand?
Just don't comply. That's the issue. Tell the people where they can find you, how they can get in touch with you, where they find the podcast. Give them the rundown."
Pretty consistent. Tanya McKenzie PR on all social media platforms. If you need anything professionally, Sand and Shores, just like it sounds, Sand and Shores. And the podcast is Leaders and Learners. We are on YouTube, Spotify, and everywhere you get your podcast. But please tap in. Make sure you head over to Substack and subscribe to Control the Narrative newsletter. I give out speaking engagements, PR tips for you, and talk about some of this other stuff that we're talking about today and how you control the narrative, hopefully to help you control yours in the future.
Yes, control the narrative. Y'all please go check out her podcast. I've done an episode and it's good, not just because I've done an episode, but it's good. It's great banter, a great breakdown of PR. If I were to go back to school to get my degree, that's what I would go get it in. So I like to be in the conversation. So.
You're pretty good at it though. You're already pretty good at it. So get it in
Thank
something else
you.
to help
That's
the people.
Madam's comm director to you. No, I'm just kidding.
Listen, part of it is learning how to communicate, and half these people don't. So, you're doing a great job. Appreciate you. And you keep me
Well,
laughing. Oh, my soul needs it. Y'all laugh a little. Don't let this stuff get you down. Like SZA said last night, ain't nothing we can do about it. Find your joy. Laugh. Enjoy. Find the people that you love being around. Find the creators that you love listening to. Live your best life. We
that's
only got
it.
one.
Do the things that make you happy. The frown lines is going to come anyway. Don't do the things to encourage the frown lines. Well, you beautiful note takers, this has been it. If you jumped in halfway through, the replay will be up forever and always until they get rid of YouTube. So watch it, share it, send it to somebody, join the conversation. Until then, as always, you can find me on Instagram, Threads, Facebook at Briefed by L. You can find me on YouTube there, but I'm struggling being consistent if I'm being completely honest. If you want consistent content, I suggest you run down to the Instagram, to the Facebook, and to the TikTok. That's where I'm at. I'm getting ready to crack down 4,000 followers on Facebook. So thank you guys. I don't know. I opened up my phone one day and I was like, oh, it's a community here. And then I had to jump in on my own community. So that was crazy. We are 400 away from 50K on Instagram. So thank you guys for listening. I don't know. I posted my first video on TikTok and I never thought we would be here. So as always, y'all could be anywhere on the internet, but you choose to be here listening to me bump my gums. And so I appreciate that. Take your notes, and until next week, Be kind to people. I don't know. Shit. It's